Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren and today we're going to talk some tea empties. All right, y'all, so welcome back. It has been a hot minute, I know, but I am back today with a tea empties video. So for the past 4 months, I have been doing a massive sip down of my collection. The goal has been to get rid of as much tea as possible before I buy anything else. And when I do buy, I am only buying things that I know I'm going to love and thoroughly enjoy to drink because that's where I am in my tea journey. I don't want to necessarily be exploring a bunch of different kinds of teas. I know what I like, I want to drink what I like, and I want to spend the next few months enjoying what I like. So I wanted to share with you the giant pile of empties that I have, tell you a little bit about what I would repurchase and what I won't be repurchasing, and yeah, grab a cup of something to drink and come along with me on this journey of tea empties. I'm excited to share it with you guys. Okay. So first, we have this giant mega tin that was full of Adagio's Irish breakfast. This has been kind of my go-to black tea for a little over a year and a half. Adagio's Irish breakfast comes in a gigantic amount for a really reasonable cost. I think it's maybe like 16 cents per serving or something. So you can buy a 16-ounce bag and that fits, it doesn't fit into this tin, but I constantly refill it when it empties out. So I went through 2 of these. So I went through a full bag and another full serving of that. So that's 32 ounces of Adagio's Irish breakfast. And I definitely will be repurchasing that because it is my go-to breakfast blend and you always need to have that on hand. Okay, next up is Palm Court from Harney and Sons. I think there's actually, yep, there's 2 of them here. This is not even a dupe. It's actually the same blend as their Titanic blend, which I really enjoyed drinking last year. So someone shared in the comments that Palm Court is the same exact blend. So I went ahead and got that, thoroughly enjoyed it, would totally buy it again. Next up from Harney and Sons is their Darjeeling. Now I've had this in my collection for quite a while because Darjeeling when I first started drinking loose leaf tea, Darjeeling was my go-to tea. I've kind of moved away from it, and so this sat in my collection for a little while before I finally got around to finishing it, but if you like Darjeeling, I'm sure you would enjoy this. Darjeeling's just not my thing right now, so I probably won't be buying this anytime soon. Dark Tibet tea from Harney and Sons. I guess it was sometime last year I went on a big Harney and Sons spree and bought a bunch of different in this size to try them to see if there was anything that I was interested in making a regular thing in my collection. Unfortunately, I don't really think, nothing in my brain stands out as something that I would continue to keep buying besides the Palm Court. But there will be more Harney and Sons tins coming up. No, there won't. But that was one of the last ones from that big purchase. I have finished everything except for one more, and I think I only have one more serving of it left. And then I will be completely done with my Harney and Sons collection. So I'm looking forward to being able to repurchase some stuff from them. Oh, before I say I'm done with Harney and Sons, let's just pull out this gorgeous Paris tin. This was full of sachets, so I am looking forward to buying it loose and sipping on that. I actually like drinking the decaf Paris in the evenings, so I think that's what I'll be filling it with, is the decaf rather than the regular. All right, next up, what do we have? Okay. We have 2 from Ajorn Tea House. Their Home Sweet, which is my absolute favorite from them. It is apple pie in a cup. I think I have a review of it. If I do, I will link it below. I would totally buy this 10 times over. So good. This is Afro Blue, which is an interesting take on a chai. It features blue pea flower, so if you like chai, I would totally recommend trying this. It's delicious and I thoroughly enjoyed. I think I have 2 more from Ajorn that are left in my collection that I need to finish up, and then I will be able to repurchase from them, which is super exciting. All right, next up is the Silver Needle from Rare Tea Co. I had really high hopes for this one. I have been looking for something to replace the Baihao Yinshin that I normally buy from David's Tea. And while this was a very good Silver Needle, I still haven't found something else that I like more than the David's Tea one. So if you're looking for something a little bit more affordable, but also delicious, then definitely check out Rare Tea Co. Next up is the Republic of Tea Celebration Tea. I love this tea. This is a wonderful cold steep to have iced. It's a little too sweet for me if I do it hot, but iced I can totally get down with. And honestly, like, you could probably splash a little bit of champagne or something in there to make it kind of like a brunch cocktail if you wanted. This is Ceylon with white wine grapes, tea blossoms, and the essence of champagne. So obviously, like, it's a celebration tea. That might be why champagne might go well with it. But this is a wonderful thing to have if you're looking for a special treat that isn't going to have alcohol in it. I love this. My husband got this for me for Mother's Day last year, and I would totally buy it again. Next up is the Super Ginger from David's Tea. I was looking for a replacement or just something comparable to the Golden Mylk turmeric ginger tea that I like to buy from Aesthete. So I figured I would try the David's Tea or Super Ginger, and it was fine. I drank it, I enjoyed it, but nothing beats the Aesthete tea that I love to have. So a repurchase of that will be coming as well. There are going to be a bunch of tins now that are all just tins from David's Tea that I have labeled with other tea companies. So this one is the Aesthete Golden Mylk. I finished my last of my giant bag of it, and as I said, it is my favorite turmeric ginger blend, and I tend to buy it in a giant, like 16-ounce serving, because it's something that I like to have right after dinner. It's soothing. It helps with inflammation. It helps with soothing a rumbly tumbly. And if you like ginger tea, if you like turmeric tisanes, check it out. Aesthete tea, awesome. I also think I have a review of that, so I will include that below. Next up is the Rare Tea Company Oolong. Again, I have been searching for a favorite tea from Rare Tea Company. I think I've settled on their masala chai as being my go-to tea from them. This was a very nice oolong. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, it's more of like a green oolong rather than like a dark roasted oolong. Dark roasted oolongs tend to be something that I prefer, so just not the right oolong for me. This is the Friday Teas Peachy King Oolong. This was wonderful. Friday Teas does peach tea very, very well. Peach tea is very hit or miss, but Friday Teas, I can almost guarantee if it's peach, I'm going to like it. So if you're curious, I would highly recommend checking them out. Peachy keen, 2 thumbs up. Next up is the Friday Teas Moon Princess. And this was a Sailor Moon inspired tea. I think it had strawberry, like frozen, like freeze-dried strawberries in it, if I'm remembering correctly. And there is a tea from Bird and Blend with freeze-dried strawberries that I really, really enjoy. And so I thought this would sound really good. If I'm remembering correctly, I think this also is mixed with an oolong. It was good. It's either oolong or green, I think. But this was good. If you are a Sailor Moon fan, definitely check it out. Next up is the Friday Teas Stardust. This is the first tea that I had from Friday Teas. I got a sample size of it in my SipsBy box and just absolutely fell in love with it. It was the first time having a peach tea that I really, really enjoyed. It's got sparkles, it's got sprinkles, it's David Bowie inspired. It's lovely. And it is and that sample that I got in SipsBy is the reason I went to Friday Teas and bought a full size of it. I will 100% be buying more of it. It is so good. My matcha. I usually buy the Seein matcha that is easily accessible on Amazon. It's one of the most affordable matchas that I have seen on the market. Ran out of it. It is the peak of matcha lemonade season, and I haven't had any matcha in my hands for a few weeks now, and I am dying to get more matcha because I need it in my life. I need the matcha lemonades. It needs to happen ASAP, but I have been on a no buy until I get this collection down. So excited to have matcha again. Okay, next up are some tins from Adagio. This is the Jane Bennett Pride and Prejudice blend that features white peony, honeybush, and rooibos. So it is a tisane and delightful, absolutely delightful, wonderful to have in the evenings. Highly recommend, would totally buy it again. This is the River Song Doctor Who inspired tea. This has peach, cinnamon, cherries, marigold. It's not listing any actual tea on it, so this might also be a tisane. I can't remember. Also really enjoyed it. Very happy. Would totally buy again. Next is this Sailor Mars tea. This is a black tea. It's like masala chai inspired. And actually, I found this to be an excellent dupe for Bird and Blend's salted caramel Lebkuchen. Oh my goodness. If you have been around this channel for any period of time, you know that I love Bird and Blend's salted caramel Lebkuchen. So good. Always have it in my collection. Always buy it when it's available, which is only during the winter season. Absolutely 100% recommend buying salted caramel Lebkuchen. But if you run out and you need something else, try the Adagio Sailor Mars masala chai. It is a wonderful replacement to that if you are in a jam. All right, next up is Made of Tea. This was a black tea, gunpowder black tea. This is a brand that I got through SipsBy, and it was such a small sample that I wasn't sure if I really loved it or not. So I wanted to get a full size of it and give it a shot. It was fine. I don't think it would be a permanent thing in my collection, but this was one that I drank primarily in my gaiwan to kind of play around with, see how the best way I liked it. Of the Made of Tea blends that I have purchased, this is probably my favorite of them. So yeah, that's that. It also works well as a cold steep if you are a iced tea drinker. Oh, speaking of salted caramel Lebkuchen, this is a 150 gram bag. I still have a canister left in my collection. I think that is the last one. There might be another bag upstairs in my collection for when I run out of that tin. But yes, I don't think there's much more to say. I love it. Get it. Highly recommend it. Okay, next up is 2 bags from Chaiwali. Chaiwali 11 Spice Chai and the Golden Chai. These are 2 chai blends from Chaiwali, which is a woman-owned company out of Australia. My husband got me these for Christmas because he knew that I was ready to explore chai, and these were absolutely delightful. It definitely was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but at the end of it, I thoroughly enjoyed drinking both. Y'all, I am so out of practice. My camera, I am not prepared. My camera died. We'll see how much further I get along, but I might have to come back and finish this later. Okay, so let's get on with it. Chaiwali, check it out. Loved it. Thoroughly enjoyed drinking both of those blends. If you are in the market for some chai, check them out. Okay, next up is EMPTIES. This was an oolong that my husband got me for Christmas. This is a woman-owned business in Thailand, I believe. Yep, Thailand. It's an Iron Goddess oolong. It was wonderful. I enjoyed drinking it in my gaiwan. Next up is the Phoenix oolong. This I got from David's Tea as part of one of my rewards. I was so looking forward to trying this. It was out of stock for a while. My order got canceled like twice. Finally, I got it in my hands, and gotta say, I don't really feel like it lives up to the price tag. I was kind of disappointed. I mean, it's a fine oolong. I wouldn't be able to justify spending the money on it again. Not that I did spend the money, but I just wouldn't be able to buy it at face value. But if you've tried it, I would love to know your thoughts. Next up is the Raja Oolong Chai from Adagio Tea. This was not my cup of tea. It was very strong with, I guess maybe it was the cinnamon or the chicory. I'm not really sure what it was. It just wasn't my kind of chai. I have definitely figured out that there's just certain types of chai that some of the flavors that are really dominant are just not for me. And that was not a good blend for me. Next up is the Turmeric Bliss from Adagio. Again, I was looking for other turmeric teas that might be a good replacement for my Aesthete tea. Not really a huge fan of this, wouldn't buy it again. Next is the Decaf Strawberry from Adagio Tea. Now this was wonderful. Thoroughly enjoyed drinking this. I would 100% buy it again. It's kind of like dessert in a cup. It was giving me lots of When Harry Met Meghan from Tea by Daniel vibes, minus the chocolate, but like that wonderful strawberry flavor, 100% love. Next up is Brooklyn Tea. This is one of their turmeric teas. Again, same old spiel. It was fine. I would definitely, I would drink it again, but I love the Aesthete teas blend. So you know what? That's kind of what this whole thing was about. I bought so much tea trying to find, similar teas that I would enjoy from different tea companies. And while I think there's lots of value in that because you never know what you're going to like, you get to discover new teas, new tea brands. Right now, I am ready to be just filling my collection with things that I know that I love and just thoroughly enjoying every cup of tea that I reach for. Next up is the, I don't even know, Alishan Oolong from Brooklyn Tea. I believe this was also kind of like a more green oolong. Green tea is just not my go-to tea, so I wouldn't be buying it again, but if you like greenish oolongs, then definitely 100% check it out. It's supposed to, I believe it's supposed to help with your metabolism and all that good stuff. All right, guys, we've had an outfit change. I am back. I have a fully charged battery, and let's continue on with our tea empties. Since I last saw you, it's been an interesting afternoon, but that's not why we're here. We are here to talk about some tea. So next, we have the Cocoa Mango Chai from David's Tea. I had really high hopes for this one. I tried it both hot and cold, and it was just a huge miss for me. Next up is the Darjeeling First Flush from In Pursuit of Tea. This is another tea company that my husband got me a couple blends from last Christmas. Again, Darjeeling just isn't my thing right now, but if you do like Darjeeling, I would highly recommend checking out In Pursuit of Tea. I've been happy with everything that I've tried from them. Speaking of, we have another Darjeeling First Flush from a different estate, and then we have Ceylon from Teawala. This was a tea that came in one of my Tea Thoughts boxes. So this has been sitting in my office, and it took me forever to get around to drinking it. So gotta love a good Ceylon. All right, next up, we are onto tea bags. So first up we have, well, you know what? I don't have the names on a lot of these. So this should be like the mulled tea from Bird and Blend. This is the cherry cola, maybe? This is a green tea with spiced fruit. This one had some rose. This must be fairy dust, which I've had before. And this is Morning Kick, which has some yerba mate. Of the ones from Bird and Blend, I was more into these two, the mulled tea and the cherry festive brew, both of which are non-caffeine. So those were my preference of those. Next up, we have quite a few from Stash. We have a peppermint and English breakfast, a chai spice, some white peach, breakfast in Paris, and some white Christmas. I've been working on getting rid of these white Christmases. I've had these in my collection for probably 2 years now. It's a white tea and peppermint with some ginger in it. It's a nice soothing tea, so if you're looking for something relaxing, I would highly recommend this. For a affordable, easy to buy in the store option for a Earl Grey-ish tea, the Stash Breakfast in Paris was nice. And everything else was just, you know, your run-of-the-mill average, you know, good tea bag. Next up, we have some Twinings. This has been in my collection for a very long time. These are all my decaffeinated teas that are left over from when I was pregnant. So I think I have found and sipped on all of what was left. These are the decaf Irish breakfast and the decaf English breakfast. We have some sample size white peach teas from Adagio that I like to cold steep when I get them in my orders. We have a Tea Pigs Superfruit. This was actually really nice as well. A Doopy Chai. This came from one of the advent calendar options. I think it was Danielle's advent calendar that came from. Here is a smaller sample size from Tima Teas that came with my order from my husband. This is a Mylk oolong. Arbor Teas. This is another Darjeeling. Again, another one of those teas that he got me for Christmas, letting me try a whole variety of brands I had never had before. Another one of the Harney and Sons decaf Ceylons. If you've been around for a while, you know that I was working my way through like a 50 pack of these. Just wasn't my favorite. I like to combine it with other things like peppermint. So that also might be the last one, I think. Then we have this Private Selection pomegranate green tea option. This was sent to me by a friend. She put together a whole birthday box of tea for me featuring all of the teas that she likes to drink, so it's been fun getting to try all of those. Hey guys, Editing Lauren here. So I forgot to include some tea bags. So I have finished 3 of these guys. Actually, I've almost finished 4. I've had a lot of Brigadoon tea. This has been my go-to tea in my office. I have 1 or 2 cups every day. So yeah, I have been working on these. I think I have 1 or 2 left. This is one of those teas that you can only get every 4 years. I think this is their leap year tea. So yep, their leap year tea. So this has been very enjoyable. It's great in the morning. So forgot to include those. Here they are. And then last but not least is this oolong from Mountain Stream Teas. And this again was one of the teas that came from Tea Thoughts. I think this might have been an advent calendar tea that I had tried, but I hadn't finished the whole package. And so that was something that I wanted to make sure that I finished before it went bad. Yeah, so those were all of my tea empties from the past 4 months. So I guess that would mean July, June, May, and April. Yeah, that sounds about right. From April until July. So I am super happy with the progress that I made. All that's really left in my collection right now is all of my decaf tea, and I know it's going to take me a really long time to kind of work my way through it, but I am making a concerted effort to work my way through through the tins, and I am hoping that by maybe like Christmas, I think, is a good goal, that everything in my collection will be things that I'm excited about drinking. I don't know about you, but 2020 and 2021 has been all about trying to find comfort wherever I can. And it is not fun drinking tea that you don't want to drink. And so I want to bring the joy and the excitement and the comfort back into my tea life, so that it's not just, oh man, I have so much stuff in my stash, there's no way I can justify buying more, and I really don't want to drink any of it. And so I want to be super excited every time I open up the cabinet and have the problem of like, I have too many good things to choose, rather than I don't have anything I really want to drink. So super excited to be reaching that point. There is a tea haul coming. I have placed some orders with some of my favorite tea companies to help replenish my stash, which I am so excited about. If you are interested in seeing that haul once everything is here, I am happy to share that with you. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below and let me know if you would be interested in seeing that. Did I empty any of your favorites over the last few months? I would love to hear about your experience with doing a sit down. Please come talk to me. I'm excited to talk to y'all. I hope you all are well. I hope you're having a wonderful summer. Stay cool out there because the weather is absolutely crazy. Sending you lots of love. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.